I am not a financial advisor. These videos are all meant for educational purposes only. All Complete Trader Academy videos are my personal opinion and perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, and all results are your own responsibility. Please always demo first. Hey everybody, welcome back to C3 Review. Today is October 21st, Tuesday, 2025. Hope you had a good day today. So yesterday we talked about, very simply, either going to break this high first, or we're going to retrace back in now at the time of the video and then popping back up. And we did that, baby. Now, we didn't go to that breakout area. This was just an idea, but we came all the way back. We made a high first here, took out that high of yesterday's high, and then we came back in, and then we got into the first imbalance of the AM session yesterday, and that's a Monday first imbalance, so it's very important. So we did that, and beautiful, man. I mean, you know, what else can I say? I mean, doesn't it look very similar? You see how we just pop up here and we come back in 3 drives. On this time frame is 2 drives, right? 1, 2. And then we came back into this hourly wick. I'm gonna have to zoom in for you here. I want to make videos short, so let's see if I can. We have that wick, and then we have this imbalance right here. And then coincidentally, the first imbalance is located right there, which is not a coincidence. Coming to the 50, baby, perfectly, and then expansion back up. So dump, pump as of now. And let me see, is there anything else before I miss it? Maybe I think I missed 2 things yesterday. One, we were also above, when we were talking about Monday, we were above this swing high right here. You see that? So we're coming above it. We pop above it. That's just a little tidbit. Second tidbit is what I forgot to say is we didn't take out Asia's low of Monday when we were in Monday because we didn't have any news. We didn't have any news driver, no 8:30, no 10 o'clock. So you're most likely not going to see that, so you could write that for your notes for all the new people here. But general speaking, let's go, baby. Let's go. So I measured this high swing and this high low, all right? And then measured it. Look at it. -1 is sitting right here. Look at the fire here. You're never going to see better chart than this. That's for sure. So the logic is it gonna come to that breakout level, which was obviously the last week high, right? Friday. And then refining here, you got some little liquidity, and right here you can see on the 5-minute better. If I zoom out right here to the left here, you can see it's these guys right here. I'm gonna not really show it on purpose, but you can see these guys, right? So these guys here, these guys here, these guys here, and then they save these guys. So that's that easy buy, right, from that breakout, right? And you would think it would come and grab it, but this is a reward for these people who are that crazy to hold the trade from here. Because imagine if the guy is pushing buy right here, right? They got to reward that guy. I mean, shit, they made him suffer enough. They came up price all the way down here. But this is more of an intraday situation. I mean, you really want to fucking hold it here, you can hold it here. But I mean, that's not something I would do. But that's the logic. But look, watch the fire. Watch the fire. Watch the fire. So basically, long story short, you know, we get that high. It's like a three drives. 1, 2, 3 on these time frames. So 1, 2, 3, right? And then we break. So that's 3 drives down for a low. Pay attention. More. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So coming down here. Then it retraces for a lower high. That's where the break was. See how it slithers with these candles in the 15-minute? Even when it breaks that low right there. Yeah. See how it doesn't even pop in for you. Point is that this is just regular flow. So if I'm giving you the drawing of a push up here and then a retrace back and then a push up, well, the structure is, I sound like beating a dead horse. I've been saying this forever, but the retracements, if it's when you're getting the retracement, it's going to get the lower low, lower high structure. So here you see that 930 here, they've already built this liquidity here. This is what that's for. 930 just opens immediately. So that's like your first sell 1. Coming down, like sell 2 up to here. 3 drives. 1, 2, 3 on this leg retraces, leg stops, equal lows. Let me open it. Equal low. So you have a high chance of it coming back. But look how it arrives to that wick of the 1 hour. That's on a 1 hour. Before I get there, let me say this because this is beautiful. First imbalance is right here. And then obviously when we make that new low, it doesn't even break the lows yet. So it's an internal low. you're coming down. You're not trying to buy this above these little swings. That wouldn't make sense. Like these guys right here. You're not trying to buy that, right? So you know that's a dump. It's going to sell off first. Yes, the opening range gap is here, but the even if there's nothing on the chart, my drawing is still in effect, right? You see that? See that? Didn't know where it was going to stop. You have an imbalance here. They're going to seal that one. But that first imbalance I mentioned, said maybe come in there, right? So we'll see what they do. But how do they do it? This is a leg down. So I'll draw the structure so you don't think I'm crazy. And on the 15-minute, I could say a lot right here, but on the 15-minute, there's these down candles. So that's the retrace, and then right there. So you're like, what the hell? Draw it, bro. Cool. Let's do it like this. Came back, tagged them. Break, low, lower high, low, lower high. Finale at the 50% of the that first imbalance, and then you could just say this for now. And we're expecting a new high up to take out that high like we talked about. So how does that look like? See that? You see that? So that's the real leg. Now watch, look on the 1 minute. That's this leg right here. See this? See this here? So you are pushing down here. So you get this sell here, and then it pops up. You're confused. You're like, this is the shift. Once it went above this high right here, oh, that's the shift. Retracing it, speakered out. So it took out that low. That's manipulation. Look at they're fucking doing it right now. I love it. And then that's the manipulation. We had a divergence for Nas. So anyways, I'm just showing you this from here, then above. You could do that from here too. It's fine. Right? And then look what they just did now. Came up here. Right? So that's that flow. But look how I have the imbalances. I have this one first one, I have this one bearish one, I have this bearish one. It turns getting used as an inversion. I have that inversion one, I have that inversion one. So when the price is coming down and it pops up, look at the bodies, it stops. I'm using it initially first for the moves down. Okay, cool. So we make a new low here. We pop up and we're sitting inside this imbalance right here. Boom, tags that the bottom of the first imbalance. And then let me just go back to this. I can't make videos short, bro. Not to give you the game at this degree, which no one is gonna do. I'm just letting you know, no one's gonna do. But you see that first, that hourly imbalance, not the wick. I'm sorry, the quadded wick hits the 25%. Tops hits the bottom. See that the bodies stay inside. So right now, while prices, I'm still using these three tools here to come down. Then it comes down here again. Boom, hits the bottom of that wick, which is the hourly wick. That's the 50%, and that's the top, right? Comes in and then hits the bottom again, and then pops up here. You can see that this inversion little one is holding the bodies, but boom, they stretch it a little bit, right? And almost hits the 50 perfectly right there on purpose. Then it starts to come back. It's coming right back to this area because this was easy selling, right? And then bodies are kind of hanging around, but you see that right here. And then their goal is to make a new low. They did that with Nas. They just happened to do that with Nas. And see, S&P and Dow didn't have that problem. That was actually really smooth, just really easy, but no opportunities. You better be in that bitch and you better hold. But this is that divergence, and we made a new low. That's the shit you got to deal with. Did I take a loss? Yeah, it is what it is. Thought they might just, this is sitting here, and you're like, well, I'd rather be a buyer from here. And I understand the -1. The -1 was sitting right there too. See this over here? So I'm like, okay, cool. We have that inversion. That's got to hold. Okay, and guess what? They came back down for another drive. Ain't nothing you can do about that, right? But guess what? You'll see how we still use these three areas later because you understand the flow, that the structure that I was drawing for you. So when it's popping up, you're going to want to see a respect on this side. And this is what holding looks like. But again, pops down for another leg. Look how we come. We sweep those lows. Again, remember, you had a high chance of it not working because of these equal lows right here. So that was the tell for Nas. But anyways, you can see that we made a low, lower high, lower low. And then, this is suckers who are really trying to sell. That's the wrong idea. That's not what's happening here. We're going to use that as a buy area here. And I get involved once we raid this and we pop back up. I see this tag. Let me delete this shit. Tagging at 50% perfectly. There's a reason why I have it sitting here. Okay. That's not random, guys. Period. So obviously you're thinking, oh, is it going to seal that bust out area? No, they're not going to do it, dude. You're not going to get it. This is algorithmic as well. And people are holding the bag who are selling, and and the people who forces you to buy, all types of different scenarios and whatever. But we understand the demo. Look how it whipped right back. Look at these bastards. Okay, so anyways, pushes up here. You can see this bearish imbalance. Look how we hold it here, almost to the tick. If I was to draw a bullish imbalance right here, it's literally damn near the same thing. So I don't have to draw it. I'm just using that. Perfect. Pushes up. Now it pushes up, retraces back. I already explained that. And then the body stay inside this tool. We already wicked. Look at the body closing this 1045 on the minute candle on the top of the bearish imbalance, the bullish imbalance. Sorry, see that in the blue, and you see no bodies. And then from the 50 here, we take off. We take off here. We're going right to the 930. That's algorithmic. You're just trying to get these guys right here, right? So it comes to the 930. By the way, when the 930 sold off, it sold off right at the 25%. So just like yesterday's bullish example, this is yesterday's bearish example, today's bearish example of the way it just flew, right? But the point is, comes over here and then it takes off. Comes to the 930, then it comes back. Boom. Hard dip. The candles and the wicks were difficult. No question about it. But that's fucking Nas, and that's the way it is. So you have to not be scared of that shit. When it was dropped, I was like, oh shit. You know what I mean? Like, but I know my goal is up here, right? So especially with the inefficiency here and then the liquidity, these three guys here. So this is dirty. What are you going to do? There's nothing you could do. You have to allow this pullback if you're going to be trying to hold, right? So, and it is another entry. So anyways, comes right to the 50 of that imbalance that we use in the AM session, right? So generally the AM session, the first part of the AM session is going to pull down. You got a 1030, which is time, and then you're going to see a reversal here, right? Which it became a reversal. Let's just say it like that, right? And it's still early in the day, right? But anyways, you can see we wick right to it, and then look at the wick. Look at the wick. They don't even let you get a discount until you come maybe a hair above 50%, right? Look at that. Dirty. And then they bring it back here. Boom. We're now using, for example, like if I'm in this buy, like the last case scenario is I'm able to do this. Why? Because this is a low, it's a high, shift above. And then let me put that thing back. This is debatable too, and I could conversate for a long time about this, but notice how this range here, that 50%, look how we come and we come close to it. But that's another conversation. The point is that you can see here, then we're pretty much holding here, right? Because you're going to want to see it hold. So it pops up, holds again. All right, can't make this up. And then pushes up outside. We want to get away from the first imbalance, right? Tags 50%. Look at that. We have a bearish imbalance here. A bullish imbalance. I did not draw it. But if you did, it would be perfect. But you can see I'm leaving it so you can see the 50% of that first imbalance. Look how it tags it. This is all algorithmic. And then boom, rushing up past the midnight level, sweeping that, getting into that breakout area here. Remember, see this change in delivery here. When we close here, you could just push sell, right? But most people want to retrace as an entry, but you're not going to get it. That's why I said it slithered, right? So that's why they were rushing up here to squeeze that out. And it is pretty obvious that we want to buy here, but and then what did they do? So just to show you, like, being bullish and just buying. So look at these bitches now. Look at these bitches now. So what was I gonna say? So when it came up here, right, made some drives, making it hard for you to sell here. It'll come down, right? It'll push down, and now bounce in between the 930 and that first bounce, and then swing all the way back. Why? I want to take out these guys right here. See from here to here, you could say, because they're always going to make an internal range. Okay, so from this push up, you call it the break. If it's going to higher low and then keep pushing up, this is the internal liquidity. Where does it stop? That would be fucking bogus if they took out this guy and this guy, right? And it would be probably a different market. It would have maybe kept going. But point is that they wanted to look at these guys right here, all equal here, right? So they leave that guy alone, and it's coincidentally it stops right here. See this? See how it stops right there? So after this, and it's an oversold here, we're now going to push back up. I can show you some fire with even this little imbalance. If I'm going to move this here just to show you this. What if I was to extend this one? You see this? Boom. See that little one right there? Yes, you got to include the gap, which is just a side bit, but I can, oh, look at these assholes now. So, pulling up, pushing back up to the 50 here of the opening range gap, by the way, before we pushed up here, you can see we came outside, came to the 25%. There's an imbalance there, and then it just bounced a little bit more. Look at it do it at the end of the day. So the question is of this whole drawing is this retrace deep enough, right? And it can still pull back even more into here, but the goal was if you're gonna follow flow, you're gonna take a dump or the pump. Those are two major trades in the day, right? Even though we had this pullback here and now we had this buy and then we're having this sell right now. What do you think they're doing that for? Because they know we're on their dick. This is easy if you are following the fucking flow that I'm drawing here, right? Again, when they come up here, are they going to go through it or are they going to pull back again? We don't know that, right? So that's the logic. And they're just wiping these easy sellers because they know we know they know that we're trading. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. They know where our stops are, which means, does it mean that they know where the exact stop is in these areas? They just know that obviously if they fucking print a higher low for you to buy from, they know that when they're coming down for it, they know where that stop is because obviously they put the opportunity for you to buy there, right? So that's very simple. Okay, that's like very simple. And as you see, they're cleaning the board here, right? And tell me why they would do that at 4:02. Why would they do that any other time of the day? What you gonna tell me something else happened on the news or something? Get the fuck out of here. This is purposely done, right? And that's obvious because otherwise this time distortion that they are doing here and all this, why would you do that? Because you're inducing this flow and this buy, right? So that's why when you take these trades, you always take the profit. Who cares if it hits this fucking high? Because tomorrow is another day that's going to provide you two more moves, and that's consistency, right? So they're beautiful, right? There's perfect example. Did it all work out when it was coming up here? Yeah, right? Swept that midnight level one more time because that motherfucker that sold here, he's like, yup, this ain't gonna, they ain't gonna give it to him. So we're coming back, right? 18 minutes. Let's see what else. So did it buy from here? Yes. Did it fail? Yes. Did it buy from here? Yes. All right, but now their agenda. All the part of the day. You guys want to do that right now at the end, right? Because now you got people really pushing by here, right? And it's very fucking obvious that we want to come up here, right? So you just don't know what they're gonna do. That's why overstaying your welcome is not fun. And you're all the way up here. So being up here, you have a higher risk because the price is up here. It's not really a discount. There isn't really a discount here, right? So it's not like you're buying down here. It's already gone. But now they know that everyone is willing to try to push this, right? That's why they made you buy here, just to fuck you. This is all for the new people. They just did this for the new people because there's a lot of new people. Anyways, I might be sounding like I'm rambling now, right? But just fire stuff. Dollar also pushing up, so giving us trouble. All right, makes sense. Take a look at this. We had lower highs here with Nas initially at 930, so that was the push in the easy sell for us. They didn't get that, okay? Then we came down. When we came down, we ended up having that divergence. Excuse me. We ended up having that divergence. All right. And then that was the buy. Okay. This was also pushing up. Let me extend that. That should be extended. So you can see here, higher lows here, and then it's just the end of the train here. Then we push up here. All right. And then when we had that next higher low to make that final highs here, we had higher lows with NAS and then lower lows there. So which is an entry. It's induced as well. And then when we came back, again, real close. So it's taking too long to get there is really the point of this conversation. Where it should already be gone. It should already be up there. You don't want to see a retracement like this. Is it allowed? Yeah, but then you see this. You don't want to see that. You want to see it already push up. So you have a high risk, period. Higher lows here, lower lows and lower lows here. So that made us push up. Before we pushed up and we came down from here to here, we had a divergence on Dow. See the lower high here? And then these are higher highs that caused this sell down. So ping ponging back and forth. And then now you can see that this for NAS, for NAS, ended up being a divergence. And it happened so fast that I'm sitting here talking while it's happening, right? So why I don't want to make videos is because this type of shit, why I want to be involved when, I won't even get into it, man. But that's why this is just like, I'm a little overdoing videos, to be honest. But as you see, Dow gave you the conversation that we talked about. It retraced back in and it made a new all-time high. Okay, this is the flow we were looking for, and they didn't give it to us. Does it mean that I was wrong? No. It means shit fucking happens. And welcome to the club, right? Easy flow. Look at that easy flow right there. You got to be pushing up. You got to be entering on every 1 minute candle. There's no other entry method once you get these solid candles. But beautiful. I would have rather trade this, to be honest. But it's okay. It's okay, right? And then S&P just stalling. They had a speaker even uglier. So it looked like that retracement isn't done. And you're going to say, well, how does that structure look like? Well, I'm going to show you now. Look at S&P. This is deep for them, and obviously letting you know that it might even come lower because now it's just building too much liquidity. They need some liquidity here to come in deeper. Again, in a perfect world, would it have been nice if they just got it over with, came all the way down here, got into this area here, might even reach for the opening day or this whatever, and then just buy back up like a perfect fucking world? Yeah, that's something we would love for it to happen. That's why I'm drawing the basic idea. So now that they did this shit, and we're probably going to take this low, and they just want to come in more for the squeezers or for the late pushers, the momentum traders. This is the flow here. So from down here, you're going to get that high, you're going to get that low. You're going to get that lower high. These are two internal part of the leg, lower low, lower high. It should have kept going. So if it's failed, and if it doesn't, then you know that this can possibly turn around. This is the flow here. Then I'm just going to give an example, right? So, but if the price ends up down here, is that still a high and a retracement back? Yeah. Right? But you just don't know if they're going to do this dirty shit. This is called fucking manual intervention. Buyers and sellers didn't do that, right? Logically, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Stop it. Because even the sellers who are so-called, if they were selling, why would they want to sell? Why wouldn't they just be buyers? Why out of everywhere in the world, why would they want to be sellers? Wouldn't they just want to be buyers? Think about that just in general for new people who don't think this is maybe an algorithm, or they think I'm just crazy. You know what I mean? Like, think logically, right? Straight shot, bro. Come on. You mean to tell me all day, just like this drop here, right? Like when the price was here and this dropped hard. Why do you think they did that? They have to get these motherfuckers. They're on their dick. They're on it. It's just that simple. Okay, so I just drew the structure for the possibility. So now take a look at this one more time. Does this still look like the flow? Yeah. Well, if this makes a high and this comes even lower in this example, that means you had a lower low, lower high, lower low, deep ranges to come back. Does that make sense for you? I hope it does, right? You get what I'm saying? Okay. So again, when you're really bullish, you don't want to see it come in here, right? And that's fine. But why do you think they're doing this right now? And this is history in the making, in general speaking. It's not to be weird. But why? Because they've already squeezed everyone out here. They know there's late buyers and it's easy. So they have to push it back. Otherwise, it would just be chaos. Like everybody would just be winning, right? So they have to do this. This is part of their agenda. And their whole agenda was to come in here the whole time then and induce this low, right? It's just that's it. So moving forward, and the thing is with the seasonal data I was mentioning that, you know, today's the 20th. We're supposed to be pushing up on the 20th. Today's the 21st. I'm sorry. On the 20th, we were supposed to be pushing up, which we did. And then today I said Tuesday might be the high. And then we're going to come back in, pull back in for Tuesday because there's a retracement coming on the 21st. I said this yesterday. If you got to go watch yesterday's video. And guess what that means? That means we're pulling back into like Wednesday. You know, for example, make the low of Wednesday and then maybe continue back to push up for Thursday and Friday to create a bullish week, right? So now on the daily, we might dip in here. We might dip into this imbalance. And it's going to be a bullish one here. Let's just say this is the low of the day right now. I don't know. So I can't tell you if it is. But if it is, yeah, you know, this is just doing way too much. So, all for free, buddy. But you see, we're going to see here. Okay, we reached that 2 to 2.5. I said we would pull back in maybe and then come back into this 1 and 1.5, right? So that's probably what they're doing, right? And then somewhere in this vicinity, you can refine it with this. Again, I could just, there's so much I could tell you and talk about right now, but if they don't take out this, if they assuming that they take out this low and we jump in here, we can quad this. You can use this, quad this for Asia and London. I'll fucking quad it now because I want to make this very clear. The reason why I do things this way, and I you know, not live trading and not sitting holding your hand. I don't want to hold your hand. You got to be able to do this shit on your own. You're never going to learn if you don't have chart time by yourself. You're sitting in a group waiting for motherfuckers and telling you this and that. Like, you are never going to learn. So this is why I tell you the day before and then I show you the day after, right? So, and generally pans out, as you know, right? So now this is quadded. Well, we're just talking here. Remember we came into a 1 and 1.5 and we retraced back up. So now on the left side, would you want to come into this area? -2 here. You have the 930 level. That's important because remember yesterday just fucking bought super easily right there. So do they want to come that? It's a breakout area as well. You remember this conversation yesterday. So we'll see what they do. But in general, I don't like buying up here anyway for the simple fact, yeah, okay, they didn't take the all-time high and then they need to pull it back, right? Because everyone late buyers. But same time, you don't feel like this is a discount though, and people are greedy as fuck. So of course we're gonna buy it, right? And then, you know, and they'll come and get you, right? Logically, and then still buy back up, right? Logically, we didn't come all the way up here just so we could not go above, right? Dow did it, so we're probably late to the party, in general speaking, or it's a divergence. And on the daily, we made a new high with Dow, and we'll never make a new high right now, right? But that's not logical because it's just the way they fucking dirty do shit. But anyway, so that's the fire there, okay? And there's a 15-minute. This I'm not gonna draw it, dude. But the 9:30 15-minute. Maybe they want to dip in here, right? And then maybe stretch a little bit more. We'll see. I don't know. In a very bullish scenario, though, you don't want to see it come in here. On a daily, I want to see this empty. If I'm really bullish, right? If I'm really bullish, you want to see that. So, what's it called? Does it make do they time distort and make Wednesday's candle dip in and then maybe push back up, and then maybe Thursday they finally fucking ram it, right? So this is going to be a swing here that we're going to create. Wednesday be the low, and then Thursday would be the higher low, and then dip up finally. Does that become a swing on the daily? Okay, or does it not even come in at all, and it's so strong that when we open up here, we on the Wednesday we just dip in the wick. Again, let's just say this is going to be the daily candle. Looks like maybe it will, but and then is that just going to be another higher low to then push up for a finale? That's what we would like to see. Why? Because in general, if you're bullish, you want to see like an imbalance stay empty. Like the conversation I gave to you yesterday, you want to see these stay empty before they take the liquidity on the left side. Well, they did it with this high. See this? They did it with this high. So notice how this stays empty. All right, 90% of it stays empty before we take this low. Now the same logic goes for these for these highs. Now on the daily, you're going to want to see this stay empty, because why? Because it's showing you strength that when this price action is done, it just rams up and it stayed empty here, right? We'll see what they do. Okay, we'll see what they do. But I mean, what can you say about that? It's like there's no. So forget structure, forget algorithmic delivery, forget any fucking thing you think of. The purpose of this was to wipe out these motherfuckers buying, because they know we own it. That has nothing to do with structure. It has nothing to do with what you care or think about. I don't care what anybody says. That was the purpose of this. All right? Because who really sold this? Why? Who wants to sell this? And people sold this. Yes, don't get me wrong, right? But I think I've said enough. So you can expect what to see here if we come dip lower. That means that retracement just isn't done. And in general, when we get a break like this, this is that first drive. I usually don't count this as the first drive because it's the break. So this is drive. We'll say this is 1, and then this is 2. They pop up and they come all the way back, and it's either going to buy from above this high, this low, or it's going to be buying below the low, right? So watch it fucking end up buying from just here. You never know. And why also do they do this? Because you got people pushing their stop, right? They're trying to allow a retracement and push it up. Allow a retracement and push it up, right? So, yeah. And look how, watch this. And this is what they wanted to do the whole time. If we stay bullish and we don't take that low out, you can't think that's a coincidence. See when that candle busted through and it stayed empty, stayed closed like that? See that? See how we tapped it right there initially? They know this is an entry method. They know we know. Bro, coming right there is not by accident. See what I mean? Because how convenient for the people who are buying. That's not by accident. So anyways, so then that would mean that you're going to get another drive down pretty much. So when you're selling, drive 1, drive 2, drive 3 as at minimum, and you might even see a fourth, right? That might be a fourth one down somewhere landing here. I'm just talking, by the way, just so you know, I'm just talking. But notice how that first imbalance held the bodies on the 15-minute right there. See that? See, we're all wicks here. And then we were holding. Look at that. See that? That's all algorithmic. Using that there. And I made a short video long. It's never a short video. I'm always giving fire. And then we're also playing around here, so no bodies here. And maybe that's just stagnating us on purpose. So whatever, man. But I mean, clear gap there. Unless they want to, I can't go into that different conversation until proven otherwise. A, we're bullish. B, the seasonality is still in play. By the way, I forgot yesterday we were on that gap right there. I forgot to mention that too. But you know, either speaking bullish, either we're gonna do something like this, okay? So for bullish, either we're gonna buy where we are, we're gonna buy below it. What the hell did I just do? Wow, you're kidding me. Okay, okay, or it really goes lower, and it wants to sweep something like this. I don't know. I doubt that, but it's not really bullish if you see that coming all the way to seal that daily imbalance, right? You don't want to see that, but whatever, right? Time is involved, and you'll see where price is at, right? So initially, we're just talking. So this is the bullish scenario. I don't really have anything else to say. That's really it. So, yeah, I don't think we're bearish like that, but yeah, especially with these last 10 days of October, they generally always close high. The month is always closing higher in price. So I would expect it to close up here versus closing down here or some shit, right? So we have plenty of time still. So anyways, this retracement might not be done, or is it done? That's the question. And then from there, we'll look for another expansion. Take care. God bless.